Just a few days ago, Elon Musk announced that they were going to be doing the expose on Twitter of the Hunter Biden emails at last. And over the course of what felt like 13 years, Matt Taibbi released his findings very slowly, one tweet at a time, as if you couldn't write all of them and then release them periodically. And so if you've been watching the show for a long time, you know that this is the part of the show where now in this story, I will go into the individual emails and read them, and I'm not gonna do that. I'm just not gonna do that. This is not an actual story. What they found was the definition of weak sauce, okay? This is a PR move by the richest man in the world to ingratiate himself to the right wing, knowing he's got nothing on the Hunter Biden thing. Matt Taibbi's incentives in this are fairly clear. I don't think they need to be restated. He did admit in his initial announcement that he had to agree to certain conditions with the platform holder and richest man in the world, but he didn't feel the need to actually list what those were, which is suspicious. I'll let him deal with the ethical ramifications of that. When it comes to what they actually found though, I'm not gonna show you the graphics. I can sum it up. There was talk about whether to allow certain stories to be spread, including the non-consensual spreading of nude photographs of at that point, former VP's adult son. If you believe that that's newsworthy, okay, you're allowed to have your opinion or whatever. The only part of this that I care enough about to actually show you a graphic that we had our graphics team make is this. From Elon Musk, after it all came out, he says, if this isn't a violation of the Constitution's First Amendment, what is? And he should have sent that message in the normal formulation. If this isn't a violation of the Constitution's First Amendment, then I don't know what is, because that would have at least been accurate. He doesn't know what is. This, by definition, is not a violation of the First Amendment, because Joe Biden, even if he reached out to Twitter and asked them to not spread these nude photos, wasn't serving in government. It was not government power infringing on people's free speech. It was a private citizen making appeal to a private company. And you'll notice, by the way, Matt Taibbi at least has the decency to mention that those exact same sorts of requests were coming from Donald Trump's team, and Twitter was acquiescing to them. He's not interested enough to actually go into the details, but he briefly mentions that. That is actually the government putting pressure on a social media company, but that isn't worth looking into. It's only worth looking into a private citizen's appeal to not have his son, who is in recovery, have effectively like revenge porn published of him. And so that's the expose. Great work, Elon Musk and Matt Taibbi.
Also, nothing I've seen from the Hunter Biden leaks has done anything but make Hunter Biden look super fun.
Yes.
And
and Joe Biden looked like a good dad.
Like a dad who's like, I don't know what to do. My kid has problems.
Yeah.
It is, and it boggles the mind. Everybody who is upset about all of this is wildly tribal. The people being like, oh, Elon Musk, nail it, hand it to him. What?
Yep. Yeah.
Matt Taibbi nailed it. Gotta hand it to Matt Taibbi. What? Angry at Matt Taibbi. What? Yeah. Like Matt Taibbi is who he is. He's a pick-me journalist. He's like, I want to be part of it. At this point, I want to be contrarian. Always was. And there's plenty of journalists out there who've written really, really awesome stuff. And then just like someone who knows they just got famous, they get all nervous and they don't know what to do, and it goes to their head a little bit. That's where Matt Taibbi is.
Yeah.
This is and people are denying that this is a PR move from Musk. Buying Twitter was a PR move from Musk, and then it went poorly, so he needed another PR move so that he could solidify his position and change the conversation. That is so obvious. To deny that is to deny reality, and then to deny all these people. At least get your argument right. Your argument is that we don't need billionaires to run media companies. I hate to break it to you, they're giant media companies. By the end of the day, they're gonna be billionaires. But like billionaires are not going to free you from this. Like Elon Musk is a billionaire.
Now. They want one. They don't want to be freed. They want their own billionaires to own the platforms. So we don't, they're playing a game. We don't need to play the game. That's what their approach to free speech is.
And I got no problem with Elon Musk saying what he wants to have on his company's website and what he doesn't want to have on his company's website. But he's gonna have to put up with a lot of people like me calling out how hilariously hypocritical every single one of his moves is, and how sadly like deriding all of his followers are.
Yeah, 100%. And yeah, and by the way, again, to the bias, he tweeted, Twitter acting by itself to suppress free speech. Again, it's not suppressing free speech. By definition, stop saying that, please. Google the terms, is not a First Amendment violation, but acting under orders from the government to suppress free speech with no judicial review is. Again, Biden wasn't in the government. Your guy was. Trump was, the part of this story that you're not remotely interested in. And again, you can't even say it's acting under orders. They requested that it be taken down. You can say that that pressure would be unacceptable coming from Trump as president, that's fine. But again, you don't care about that. And to the extent that you just care that a social media company is trying to influence the result of an election, do I need to remind you that Elon Musk told Twitter users to vote Republican before the midterms and has already announced that he's supporting Ron DeSantis as president? So which is it? Do you actually, can you imagine if Twitter did that before Elon Musk took control of it? Literally tweeted out from @Twitter, y'all should vote Democratic in 2018. Can you imagine what they would say? Anyway.
Yeah.
Okay, it's really fast because we got a lot we got to get to.
All right, go for it. I just like,
okay.
Ron DeSantis, Elon Musk likes Ron DeSantis not because he's anti-woke, but because he's pro-corporation. And he will, not regulate any company. That's the answer.
Check out the Damage Report podcast each day, wherever you get your podcasts, whether Pocket Casts or Stitcher or iTunes. You can join me as I give you the news and stories you want, with a range of co-hosts and interview guests jumping in on the fun each day. Again, that's the Damage Report, wherever you get your podcasts. And if you get them at iTunes, don't forget to rate and review. Sometimes I'll read them live on the show.